Is Glaz so easy now that a trained monkey could play him? Hey, what's up guys? Irish Turtle here, and in today's video, I want to explore that question. Is Glaz such an easy operator to play now that even a trained monkey could do it? Now, obviously, you know, this is a little bit of a discussion about the Glaz buff that we got with the mid-season reinforcements. Now, assuming that you don't know what that is, which I would be shocked if you didn't, didn't know what it was, it's basically, he got a buff where he has a thermal scope on, he has thermals on his flip sight. Basically what that means is when you aim down sights with it on, enemies light up like a fucking Christmas tree in the dark. I mean, seriously, it's like putting like a bonfire in the middle of a desert. It would light up, you'd see it from miles around. And this is how I view this buff. It's like you can see anybody anywhere if they're outside of cover. It's fucking ridiculous in my opinion. Now, you know, as a whole, Glaz did need a buff. I will address that immediately. He did need a buff. He had a low pick rate. In ranked, you're looking at about a 20% pick rate. As a number I've just pulled out my arse. But he had a fairly low pick rate. And as a whole, since the buff he received, he's now got a 100% pick rate pretty much. You can guarantee every game you're going to see a Glaz. It's no questions asked. He's such an easy character to play that there is just nothing involved in it. Now, obviously, you know, people are going to say different things on this video. I imagine a lot of people are going to say things like, oh, he's fine as he is. But you know what? Like, I'm going to give you an example now. So we were playing this, I think it was a day after the patch. I was playing with friends who, as I've said, are new to the game. They're fairly new. And as they were playing Glaz, watching me play Glaz, you know, play them themselves, they even said, this is fucking ridiculous. This is stupidly easy. And it is. Glaz is now literally what I have come to call a point-and-click adventure. That is what Glaz is to me. Literally, you can just sit there with your mouse, don't have to move at all. With your controller, you just click, point and click, and you get kills. That's literally what it is. Even the worst player, I guarantee you could get a minimum of one kill per game, if not two. And considering that he can see through smoke, I mean, it's fucking unreal. I mean, I was playing the other day, and literally, I think I was on a secure objective. I jumped in, I threw a smoke, jumped in, stood in the smoke, got a kill. As the smoke starts to fade, I throw another smoke down, immediately on top of myself. It pops up, I get two more enemies come in, pop them straight away, because they can't see me in the smoke. As that smoke fades, I get another smoke out, and, you know, I get another few kills. And that's pretty much what Glaz is now. It's just this little thing of, you're the smoke monster. That's what you are. You are the smoke monsters. Smoke no longer deserves the title Smoke, because he doesn't use it half as much as Glaz does now. So as a whole, like, you know, the buff is easy. It's basically easy mode for anyone who wants to play Glaz. Originally, in my opinion, whenever I saw a Glaz player that was good, I had a lot of respect for them, because Glaz was a very difficult operator to use in most situations. Obviously, on plane, you'd see him quite often, but, you know, generally, he required a bit of skill to use. Now, anyone could pick him up and play him. There is literally no reason not to. Now, I understand the reason they made the buff. The buff, essentially, was to try and reduce the amount of spawn peeking that we get in Siege. Essentially, there's a huge problem in the sense that a lot of people like to spawn peek. So in all the pictures that Ubisoft sort of showed of this buff, they kind of showcased, you know, him trying to shoot people through windows, taking people out that way. Basically, the idea is it was a method to deter spawn peekers. So, you know, I understand where the buff comes from. However, I think the way they implemented it was really poor. Now, originally, when I did this video, I was going to talk about things... Well, actually, no. A little bit of backstory now. Originally, this video was going to be about, does Siege need a PTE, or public test environment? Now, unfortunately, when the mid-season's reinforcements dropped, we got told they're actually bringing in technical test servers, which is basically a PTE for Siege. Now, you know, that was great. I scrapped my video. I'm doing this one instead because this needs addressing. But this is where I kind of had a little bit of a laugh. Siege, Ubisoft, have decided they're going to add in a technical test server. Now, I think Glaz should have gone into that technical test server before they put it into real play. And this is a huge problem that I have with Ubisoft when it comes to Siege. When they make changes to operators, they don't particularly test it with a large number of the public. They'll internally test it, they'll maybe put it out to a few testers, but as a whole, things aren't tested by us lot, they're just kind of done, and then they're thrown in, and then they'll stay that way for at least a month minimum, normally longer, before they get changed again. Now, personally, I think Glaz should have been in the technical test server, because I could tell you immediately, this is ridiculous. Like I said, anyone can play him, anyone can get kills. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably saying, oh, all he's doing is complaining, all he's doing is saying, you know, how bad the buff is. And you know what? That's fair, and I'm going to try and now give you the other side of it. So, yes, you know, the buff is a little bit powerful, but I suppose if you're new to the game, he's quite a nice, easy operator to ease yourself into the game with now, because you can get kills fairly securely. And there are a couple of issues with this as well. Like, I've noticed when you're firing, there seems to be a delay between when you hit that fire button to when the bullet lands. So if you pull the trigger on someone's head, there's like a delay, and if they move in that second, they don't die. That seems to be a bit of an issue with the weapon at the minute. I don't know if that's a deliberate thing that Ubisoft have done to try and offset the thermal sights, but as a whole, I don't think it works. Now, instead of just going, you know, it's shit, I'd like to try and suggest a way to fix it. Now, these are just some suggestions that I've had, or that I've said to my friends and said, what do you guys think to this? Now, the first one I think is putting the thermal scope on a timer. Now, what I'm thinking is you do it similar to that of maybe Caviera's Silent Step, or that of, say, Jackal's footstep tracker. Once you go down those aim down sights on that thermal scope, I think there should be a little red dot in the bottom circle that starts to time out. Once that dot hits 0 and it's timed out, I think your thermals should disappear. They should like run out of battery or something. And then once you stop using the ADS of the thermal scope, or you take the thermal scope off, I think it should start to charge again, and you know, once it's gotten charged, you can then reactivate it again. I think that would work really, really well, because one of the huge problems with Glaz at the minute is that people that play him will just stop, like literally stand stock in one place. They don't move, they just stay in one place pretty much and stay glued to that scope, because they know that enemies that cross will be lit up and they'll be easy kills. So I think if they implemented a time system, it would improve Glaz's ability to be a little bit more fair in that regard. Because obviously, as I mentioned earlier, the other issue is things like you could just sit in smoke pretty much permanently and, you know, just shoot enemies however you want. They've got no chance of seeing you. And if it was on a cooldown, it would mean you couldn't just permanently sit in a smoke. Like, basically just, you can't sit there and just camp smoke. You have to then think tactically about it, use the thermal scopes a little bit more sparingly, and I think it would work quite well, you know, if it just had a cooldown. Another method they could possibly implement is to say have it like just like activated and deactivated. Maybe reduce the zoom a little bit on it or something, and just have it where you push the button and the thermals turn on or off. Obviously, there is a little bit of an issue there that the special ability button puts the scope on and off the gun, so they'd have to put in another button for that, which I couldn't see them doing. But something along those lines, I think, wouldn't be a bad idea if they wouldn't take the first implementation that I suggested. But, you know, that's just my opinion. Like I said, it's not a great kind of character to try and change now. But, like I said, I don't agree with the buff. I guarantee you within about 2 weeks, we're probably going to be seeing, like, Twitter trending things like nerf Glaz. You know, it's like this video here. This is a very kind of calm, mild-mannered video. I did a recording a couple of minutes ago where most of it would have literally just had it as me rocking back in my chair, just shouting, "Nerf Glaz, Nerf Glaz, Nerf Glaz," because, you know, I really don't agree with the buff. But, you know, that's just my opinion. As always, you know, like I said, I think they should have really put it into the technical test server first, because I think it's just a bit too much. But that's just my opinion. So what do you guys think to the buff? Do you guys think that, you know, it's really overpowered and that he's just ridiculous now? Or do you think he's perfect as he is, and that, you know, it's just that people don't understand him yet because you're full of shit? I'm joking. You're not. As always, I am welcome to people's opinions. I'm welcome to hear people disagree with me. It's always fun to see what other people have to suggest. Obviously, if you have any ways you think he would be nerfed but could still keep the thermal sights or something similar, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I don't think Ubisoft will see this video, but fuck it, who knows. Obviously, I also just want to point out, because I know some people will be doing it, when I said, is he so easy a trained monkey could play him, please don't feel that I'm calling people trained monkeys that play Glaz. It's just a bit of a joke, but I know some people will take it deadly seriously because loads of people have no fucking humour. But other than that, guys, obviously, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit that like button. Helps my channel out, helps the video get more exposure. Obviously, if you enjoy my content, feel free to subscribe. I do these regular Sunday opinion videos, and it's always fun to get a bit of a discussion going in the comments below. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.